I'd like to highlight a few things that are happening, especially for the kids here on this campus. So, next Sunday, for all you parents, you're going to love this. Sunday school starts next week again. Yay! So, if you have kids and you would like them to be in the classes, they start, you'll get an email this week. And so plan on that for next Sunday. Also, this Wednesday, we have another Pop On In event, and that's for families. So it's a tailgating kind of event. So you pull on in, set out your blankets or chairs at the back of your tailgate, and then we sing, we worship, we have stories, we have activities, all of that for the kids. So if you have kids or know kids, send them on down on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Another thing for kids coming up at the end of the month is Trunk or Treat. So this on this campus, we used to call it Harvest Festival, and it's quite a big event. Last year, I think we had around 800 people visit our campus. So this is a collaborative event with City Church, Bridges, and CCC. So if you are interested in having a trunk, or if you are interested in doing traffic, because this will be a COVID-friendly walk-through trunk or treat. So it's different than what we had last year. When there is not COVID, it's like a big block party here. We have chairs and tables set out, we have food, we have everything, so it's huge. And neighbors come and just hang out together, so it's really fun. This year, because of COVID, we're doing a walkthrough. So the kids will start out in the gate on Crescent, go through the front parking lot, just one single aisle, and then the horseshoe of where a lot of you parked this morning will have another horseshoe, and then they'll exit out the San Simeon driveway. So it'll just be walk through. We'll have arrows, we'll have safe distancing, all of the stuff to make this a safe event for the families, but also something for families to do this Halloween, because there's not a whole lot of other things happening around the neighborhood. So if you're interested in traffic, in a trunk, or support, because we'll need some people like at the entrance tables and different things like that, just to guide people and greet. The sign-up table is over there by the other table where you get your information, song sheets and stuff. And there's also a red bucket there. If you can start bringing candy, this is gonna take a lot of candy. The trunks start with candy first, and then we replenish as people come through. So if you are in a store this week and you find some candy, remember Trunk or Treat at the end of the month, and you can bring it on Sunday mornings.
Amen. You know, the gospel is beautiful and the gospel is simple. So why is it that it's so hard? Why is it that people don't just come and accept so easily and so willingly? And I think it's for a lot of different reasons, but a couple. I think, first of all, it's the simple fact that it is easy. People have trouble with that. We are in a culture that says, hey, I'm a self-made person. I don't want anything for free. Don't give me anything for free. I want to earn this. And it's really ego, it's pride that gets in the way of surrendering to Jesus and receiving the free gift that he gives us. He paid for it, for sure, but it's a free gift to us. We need to make sure our priorities rest in surrendering to Jesus, as JT had said and as John said as well. Sometimes it's our affluence. We stumble over our affluence in this community, in the United States. We have so much and we don't even realize it. And should we feel guilty for that? No. But should we be aware that it can become a stumbling block in our surrender to Jesus? Absolutely. Did you know that people around the world, half the people around the world, live on less than $2 a day? Our lifestyle that we have is not normal. But we don't have to be ashamed of it, but we can use it as a tool. And we're going to talk about that starting next week. We have a series called The Kingdom Assignment. So we're coming out of the Kingdom Parables, and we're going to do the kingdom assignment. It's just going to be 2 weeks. But we're going to put this into action. We're going to help everybody jumpstart and maybe be refreshed again of how are we servants? How are we the ones that go to the highways and byways and call people to the banquet? And so if you want to get a jump start on the series, it's we're going to base this on the parable of the talents, but the Kingdom Assignment is a book that you can look up. It's right on Amazon. It's by Denny and Lisa Belisi. And if you want to read that, it's a very short book. It's a great book. Some people say you can't put it down. So if you want to come primed for that teaching in the next 2 weeks, that would be great. But we're going to have a lot of fun together, Bridges and CCC, living this out over the next few weeks and seeing what God does. We're going to have all kinds of stories about it. So speaking of the next couple of weeks, we got 2 more weeks at least that we're going to be outside. But the 25th of October, we're going to have a celebration right out here, right after the teaching, right after the service, because we want to celebrate what God has done and allowed us to be outside through this whole time of COVID, to allow us to come together. He has provided in the midst of crisis. And we just want to celebrate. As JT said, this is the kingdom of celebration. And so we're going to have a special dedication of this particular green space. We're going to call it a park. And you're going to hear more about that as we unveil that next week, or not next week, the 25th at 11 o'clock. So we're going to have a time of probably boxed lunches or something. I'm not quite sure what that's going to look like yet, but make sure you plan to stay a little bit after on October 25th. And then what we're looking at is potentially going in to the worship center on November 1st. Bridges is looking at that. CCC is looking at that. We're trying to figure that out together. No final decision has been made. We're trying to look at all the government regulations and making sure we're doing this right. We're doing it safe. But we're looking at some point, it's going to get colder, it's going to rain, we have to do something inside. As much as this has been fun doing it outside. So what is going to happen for sure is that for 4 weeks, starting November 1st, we're doing a series called Ephesians. We're going to go through that together, but we're going to be meeting separately. Is that like, oh? We're going to do that just so that we as separate congregations can kind of process through things. We're going to be going through the same series. JT is going to be teaching, of course, for Bridges, and I'll be teaching for CCC. And we're going to go through that series together. And at the same time, we're going to be doing what's called guided conversation groups. We're going to try to mix those together with Bridges and with CCC. And the purpose of those is to try to explore, what is the Lord doing with us as a larger community? Is he calling us to combine together? And so we're going to make sure there's a lot of input, a lot of transparency, and that so you have time to process through that with us as well. And then for Advent, we're going to come together again. We're going to be together for Christmas, and then just to see, again, what the Lord does from that point.